Yo, good evening, USA, International Canada, Long Island, aka Strong Island, plus the tri state areas of New Jersey, Connecticut, plus the five spots of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, and Queens. This is your man and homie, G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator. Rhymes with now or later, your host with the most, misunderstood, lonely nomad, unstoppable independent podcaster, creator, YouTuber, and Queens, New York native, who is also a New York Giants and New York Mets fan from the neck of the woods of Laurelton, Queens, New York. You are now rocking with me by tuning Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast. Um, the platform where I get to talk about some things in reviews, what's going on in music news, what's going on it, in terms of reviewing music discographies, um all the new TV and movies. Yeah, new all the new TV shows, and of course, there's movies included as well, and of course some gaming news as well. So I got y'all with some gaming news of what's going on. So I got y'all with that right there. Now I do apologize for not being able to record because I had to take care of something in regards to a job application for Western Beef. So the thing is, I have to go out tomorrow. I have to go out the next time. So there you go. Um, in case you're seeing a little glitch, my apologies. I actually did restart the Wi-Fi adapter before I got on the air in case something like this happens. So, um, all right, man. So I hope y'all had a great week, a great month of March. And yeah, why don't we get started? Why don't we get started with this? Hold on one second. Yeah, why don't we get started with this one right here? This is Music Kool-Aid. All right. So let's get into it right here, right now. Um, and just cut to the chase. Let me do that again. Okay. All right. So lately, J. Cole has been in the news lately, actually. So let's get into him. All right, let's get into him actually. I gotta really say, man, you know, certain DJs are actually holding a grudge against J. Cole for backing out of a battle. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, seriously, are you fucking kidding me? Like, come on, man. Anyway, anyway, let Anyway, according to Complex, J. Cole is setting the record straight on one of the rap's most common claims, revealing that his boosts about being the best rapper alive don't always reflect how he actually sees himself. During an appearance on 7 p.m. in Brooklyn podcast with Carmela Anthony, I know Kaz is the co-host on there as well. The rapper said confidence heard in his music is more of a creative mindset than a constant real life belief. He mentioned some people thought that exists. It's a nigga named Lupe Fiasco that exists, Cole said. It's niggas that on any given day, even my peers, a Drake or a Kendrick Lamar, where I know on any given day I can show up to the studio and give these niggas 80, but I know they can show up on any day in the studio and give me 80. And I might only have 30. Cole explained that the bold declarations, the bold declarations, the bold declarations in his lyrics come from stepping into a competitive persona when he records. End quote. If I'm taking on a rap persona, that's how I rap. That's how I like to rap. And guess what? Sometimes I hit the mark and I say shit and I spit a verse that really might have you. I'm the best ever. No, but when I put on that motherfucking cape, that's how I try to attack shit. He also acknowledged that there are moments in the studio where he feels untouchable, but those moments don't define his overall mindset. Have there been things and moments and verses where I'm writing this shit and I'm like, I know niggas not fucking with this. Absolutely, Cole said. But in reality, do I walk around this earth like there's no nigga better than me in real life? Like I can't get in the studio with Black Thought and he just give me 90. And I'm sitting there like I got 25 for you. Or anyone of these amazing rappers. Yeah. Yeah, let me see. Let me see. Hold on. What else? What else? What else? What else? Also in J. Cole news, J. Cole wanted to get back to the music during his conversation with Cameron on Talk with Flea podcast. Cole spoke about the thought process that went into his response to Kendrick Lamar on 7 Minute Drill, admitting his goal was to do just enough to where it looked like I said something. When asked about his reaction to Kendrick Lamar calling him out calling out him and Drake on Like That. Cole said the song is tough, but also inconvenient because he wanted to drop the project, might delete later, followed by the fall. Like fuck, he recalled. Because now I know this shit that you've been working on for 8 years, plus this other shit that you did as a setup niggas. As a setup, niggas ain't gonna never let you put that out until you address this, until you say something here. Um, while in the studio in the Bahamas with producer T Minus, Cole wrote 7 Minute Drill during one of his 7 minute writing exercises. In his mind, Cole believed the track would not damage their relationship while also giving the people what they wanted from him. Let me say just enough to where it looked like I said something. He said at the 45 45 minute 10 mark and 10-second mark. Every Cole continued. I'm not hitting him with no fatal blows, but it'll be just enough to be like, all right, nigga, you said what you said. Now you gonna come back. I know this is my man. He gonna come back. He gonna say something. Give me a line or two, and I'm gonna be like, "You got that? Cool. Now let's get to this album and really fuck him up." Cole said he did not foresee how 7 Minute Drill would turn his supporters into enemies of Kendrick and vice versa. While Cole thought their back and forth would play out in a light-hearted fashion, he started to question how Lamar would interpret the track or serve as an invitation to take things further. With so much weighing on him at the time, Cole decided to express his regrets over dropping 7 Minute Drill on stage at his Dreamville festival. What else, man? Okay. All right. Let's go to let's go to let's go to Tootsie. And of course, this is from Hip Hop Vibe. All right. Let me just all right, so rapper and singer Tootsie is taking another serious shot at football. After months of uncertainty, he now appears on the roster for LSU Tigers football. The move has sparked conversation across both sports and music communities. The Syracuse born artist, whose real name is um, Naljor Granger, unconventional, excuse me. His journey reflects a growing trend of athletes and entertainers across crossing into new arenas later in life. A fresh start in Baton Rouge, Tootsie's football ambitions are not new. He played during his high school years and has been vocal about wanting to return to the sport. Over the past several months, he has shared training clips and workouts online. These posts show him these posts show him running routes, catching passes, and working on conditioning. Now, those efforts appear to have paid off. His inclusion on LSU's roster signals an opportunity. It may begin as a developmental role, but it places him inside one of the most competitive programs in college football. A newcomer, the challenge is steep. From music charts to the practice field, Tootsie rose to fame through music, not athletics. His breakout track, Favorite Song, gained massive popularity and showcased his melodic style. He has built a loyal fan base and consistent streaming success. Balancing music and football will not be easy. College football demands strict schedules. Players attend meetings, practices, workouts, and film sessions daily. Travel and games add more pressures for someone with an active music career. Time management becomes critical. Still, Tootsie has shown confidence in his ability to handle both. He recently posted a video of himself training at LSU's facility. The clip shows him catching passes and rolling drills with intensity. His caption reflected determination and belief in his not work out. Head coach Fran Brown initially suggested that Tootsie might have a chance to walk on. However, he later expressed uncertainty due to roster limitations and incoming talent. Tootsie pushed back on that narrative. He stated that the discussions were not about a simple walk-on role. Instead, he claimed the conversation involved financial support for school. According to him, tuition and logistics played a major role in his decision. The disagreement became public. It added another layer of attention to his football pursuit. In the end, Syracuse was not the right fit. LSU became the next opportunity. Why LSU took a chance? LSU's decision to roster Tootsie raises questions. Why would a major program take a chance on a 26-year-old freshman? There are several possible reasons. First, athletic. At wide receiver, traits like speed, hands, and route running matter most. Second, low risk as a walk on or non scholarship player. The program does not lose much by giving him a shot. If he performs, it's a bonus. If not, the impact is minimal. Third, visibility. Adding a known artist to the roster brings attention. College football programs are increasingly aware of branding, and media reach. This move naturally draws eyes to LSU. The reality of walking on for readers unfamiliar with college football, the walk on path is difficult. Walk ons are not guaranteed playing time. They must earn everything. That includes practice reps, travel spots, and game appearances. Many walk ons never see the field. However, some success hold on. Yeah, however, some success stories exist. Um, hold on, many walk-ons never see the field. However, some success stories exist. Players like Baker Mayfield began as walk-ons become no as walk-ons before becoming stars. While rare, it shows that the path is not impossible. Tootsie will need to improve. Excuse me. Tootsie will need to improve himself daily. Coaches evaluate performance constantly. Effort, discipline, the response to Tootsie joining LSU has been mixed. Some fans support his determination. They see it as someone chasing a dream despite obstacles. His willingness to start from the bottom resonates with many. Others are skeptical. Critics question whether a 26-year-old can compete with younger athletes who have been training consistently. College players often enter programs at 18 or 19. By 26, many athletes are already in professional leagues or retired from college eligibility. There's also debate about fairness. Some believe roster spots should go to traditional recruits who have followed the standard path. Despite the criticism, Tootsie has remained focused. Now, age and eligibility in college football, Tootsie's age stands out. Most college freshmen are teenagers at 26. At 26, he is significant years of organized competition after high school. Each case can vary. Older athletes sometimes bring advantages. They may have greater maturity, discipline, and life experience. These traits can help in high pressure environments. Still, the physical demands of football remain intense. Competing against younger players requires strong conditioning and resilience. Balancing two careers. One of the most intriguing aspects of this story is the balance between music and football. Tootsie is not an unknown artist trying something new. He already has an established career. Touring, recording, and promoting music require time and energy. Football demands the same. Managing both will require careful planning. He may need to scale back This dual career path is rare, but it is not unprecedented. Unprecedented, excuse me. Athletes like Deion Sanders have balanced sports and with media and entertainment ventures. Still, doing so at the college level presents unique challenges. What success would look like, you ask? Success for Tutsi does not necessarily mean becoming a star player. Making the team is already a milestone. Earning consistent practice reps would be progress. Appearing in a game would be significant. Any contribution on special teams or offense would mark a major achievement. The expectations should be realistic. His journey is more about opportunity than guaranteed outcomes. It reflects persistence and willingness to step outside comfort zones. Abilities in sports. The lines between industries are becoming more fluid. Social media plays a role. Yes, it does. Social media plays a big role. Yes, it does. Platforms like TikTok and Instagram allow individuals to showcase skills directly. This visibility can create opportunities that did not exist before. Tootsie's journey is a clear example of this shift. And Core's final thoughts. Tootsie's addition to LSU's football roster is unconventional. It blends music, sports, and personal ambition into one storyline. There are real Whether he sees the field or not, his journey has already captured attention. It highlights the idea that paths are not always linear. Sometimes they loop back to old dreams. For now, Tootsie is officially part of LSU football. What happens next will depend on performance, persistence, and time. Okay. All right. And next we have Denzel Curry. Yes, we got Denzel Curry. Let's see. Got Denzel Curry. So Denzel Curry's fifth studio album, Melt My Eyes, See Your Future, is available on vinyl. Really? Really? Vinyl's back? I didn't know it made a comeback. That's crazy. That shit is crazy, man. That vinyl made its return. Anyway, Vista Recordings. Melt My Eyes, See Your Future arrived after 3 years of silence on the full length front, a stretch that included a slamdemic and a pair of lower stakes EPs, including one with producer Kenny Beats. The wait made the album feel like an arrival, with the songs holding their own individuality. Hold on, their own individually, excuse me, while building into something cohesive across the full runtime. No filler, no drag. The album draws on a wide range of sounds, moving be- moving between organic jazz and futuristic electronics with guests who each feel intentional rather than merely declarative. Appearances include Robert Glasper, Saul Williams, yeah, I see your future on vinyl. If you are ready to if you are ready to add Melt My Eyes, See Your Future to your rotation, shop Denzel Curry on Complex. So there you go, right there. Now, let me see if there's anything else. If there's anything else in there's anything else in if there's anything else in let me see if there's anything else to talk about before I go on to the Leatherface movies. Okay, hold on a second. Okay. Hold on one second. All right. Let me see if there's anything else that I could talk about here. Um, let me see. Um, let's go on to hold on a second. Um, let me see if there's anything else I should talk about here. Okay, hip hop DX. Hold on. Oh boy. I think yeah, let me see. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to look for another music news topic actually. All right, you know what? Hold on. One second. All right. So J. Cole has according to Hip Hop DX, during an interview with the YouTube channel Lost in Vegas as part of his press run to promote the fall off. The Dreamville rapper and poetic about longtime Wu-Tang Clan affiliate Killer Priest. When asked which MCs outside of the usual Mount Rushmore candidates, Jay-Z, Nas, Tupac, Biggie Smalls, that he's currently listening to, Cole replied, the first answer that comes to my mind is somebody that I've been playing the last month. This one song is in particular, and it made me dive back into some of the shit he's been releasing over the years. It's gonna be hella left field. Intimately familiar with Priest's catalog outside of his vicious solo track Bible, which is basic instructions before leaving Earth on Jizz's classic 1995 album Liquid Swords. However, he was left in awe by the Brooklyn veteran's lyrical talent when he stumbled upon on his song NASA Case during his recent trunk sale tour. End quote. I played this song and this shit is crazy. I know I didn't know what the fuck to expect. I just clicked on it. It's 9.5 minutes. He said it's not a style that's normally the one I gravitate to. It's super dense. It's super, I'm not even going to say poetic. It's prose. It's like a book, damn near. And I can't exactly follow what he's talking about. I'm getting enough, though, to keep me hooked. It wasn't until he sat with and studied the track that Cole fully grasped Killer Priest's rhymes, instantly converting him into a fan. I listened to that song, and I shit you not, like 9 times in a row, because every time I listened to it again, the story got clearer and clearer. He continued. And I'm like, oh my God, this nigga is an alien. Oh shit. Wow. Done with my knife. Listen and I see this the concept he's playing with. I'm like, oh my God, is this nigga from another dimension? He knows some shit we don't know. He added in quote, it's one of the only songs outside of my album that I'm playing because it's so enjoyable and I'm so amazed with what this dude did. Shout out to Killer Priest, man. Looking back on some of his favorite rappers from his childhood, J. Cole named Cannabis and Royce the 5'9" as two MCs he had particular reverence for as a lyrics obsessed teenager. Yeah, you can watch it with you could go to their you go to the Lost in Vegas YouTube channel page. Make sure you subscribe on there as well. Ready, please click on the subscribe button on the entertainment review show Meticulous Values podcast. Leave a like and a comment, and of course, share your thoughts on the topics in each episode. And don't forget to also share the podcast link of podcast feed links to your husbands, your wives, your boyfriends, girlfriends, people you're cool with from work. And of course, don't forget to leave a 5-star rating and alongside with a positive review. All right, on Apple Podcasts. Um, it really helps me and the show grow as your host of multiple podcasts, and of course, word of mouth is important. All right, so now that I got that out the way, to yeah, yeah, I want to get it. I want to get into hang on one second. I want to get into Leatherface. All right, this is a 2017 horror movie that I want to get into. And yes, this is Leatherface with blood on the chainsaws. So this is one of those movies for I think it's separate from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise movies. So we'll see what's going on in this segment right here. The Chillax Man Cave Popcorn Lounge. Let's go. Yes, Leatherface is the by Julian Maury and Alexander Alexander Bastillo, written by Seth M. Sherwood and starring Stephen Dorff, Vanessa Grass, Sam Strike, and Lily Taylor. It is the eighth installment in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise and works as a prequel to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1974 and Texas Chainsaw 3D, explaining the origin of the series' lead character. Let's see. And how did it do in the box? Okay, so it's not saying what the budget is actually. I'm not seeing what the budget's going to be. What was the budget for this movie? Anyway, from the director John um um Lucenhop for a planned shoot in Louisiana, but failed to receive the green light to move forward in favor of avoiding the convoluted continuality continu- continuality of the previous films while going in an unexpected direction. Seth M. Sherwood pitched Leatherface to Millennium Films as a prequel that would follow the titular character in a mentally competent state and enduring trauma that transforms him into the intellectually disabled murderer seen in the previous films. Maury and um, Bastillo be a unique take on the long running franchise. Principal photography commenced in Bulgaria in May and June 2015, with locations and sets being chosen for their resemblance to the Texas terrain and a homage to the series' previous films. After being temporarily shelved by Lionsgate Films in 2016, the film was made exclusive via DirecTV on September 21st, 2017, before receiving a wide release on video on demand and limited theaters. Simultaneously in North America on October 20th, 2017. It received generally mixed reviews from film critics and garnered 1,476,843 worldwide. Lionsgate and Millennium Films lost the rights to produce. Hmm. Okay, testing. Sorry about that, folks. Sorry about that. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Testing, testing. Can y'all hear me? Okay, sorry about that. Sorry about that. Um, yes, Leatherface is a 2017 American horror film directed by Julian Maury and Alexander Bastillo, written by Seth M. Sherwood and starring Stephen Dorff, Vanessa Grass, Sam Strike, and Lily Taylor. It is the eighth installment in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise, and as a prequel to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1974 and Texas Chainsaw 3D 2013, explaining the origin of the series lead character. Okay, so I'm not seeing what the budget is, but anyway, following the financial success of Texas Chainsaw 3D, a sequel went into development from director John like to move forward in a favor of avoiding the convoluted um convoluted continuity of the previous films while going in an unexpected direction. Seth M. Sherwood pitched Letterface to Millennium Films as a prequel that will follow the titular character in a mentally competent state, enduring trauma that transforms him into the intellectually disabled murderer seen in the previous films. Maury and Bastillo signed on as directors after reading the screenplay. Impressed with what they found to be a unique take on the long running franchise. Principal principal photography commenced in both chosen for their resemblance to the Texas terrain and as homage to the series' previous films. After being temporarily shelved by Lionsgate Films in 2016, the film was made exclusive via DirecTV on September 21st, 2017, before receiving a wider release on video on demand and limited theaters simultaneously in North America on October 20th, 2017. It received generally mixed reviews from film critics and garnered $1,476,843 worldwide. Lionsgate and Millennium Films lost the rights to produce future Texas Chainsaw Massacre films because of its delay in release. All right, let me s- I'm- let me take a look at the I want to take a look at something involving the I want to take a look at something involving the the budget. Let me see. Okay, budget for let me see. Budget for Leatherface. What was the budget? Let me see. Um What was the budget for this film? Let's take a look at the numbers actually. Just a sec. It's not saying what the budget is, but let's take a look here. Um, let's take a look here. It's not saying what the it's not saying just a sec. It's not saying what the budget is, but what is the budget for Leatherface movie 2017? Let's see. It's not saying anything on what the budget is, but it's not saying anything. But yeah, it's not. Let me keep going with this shit. I don't got time to look for it. Anyway, let's go to the let's go to the production. Hold on, let me see. I'm not gonna go into the cast and characters. I don't want to spoil it. Anyway, so the production, so concept and development in a way, there is nothing behind the mask that I think is why he is such a frightening character. The reason he wore a mask, according to Tobe and Kim, was that the mask really determined his personality. So when the cook comes home with Sally, Leatherface is wearing the old lady mask and is wearing an apron. He wants to be domestic. At dinner, he wears a different. He obeyed his brothers. He loved his grandpa. In January 2013, it was revealed that due to the success of Texas Chainsaw 3D, Millennium Films began planning a sequel film to be called Texas Chainsaw 4, which was expected to begin filming later in 2013 in the state of Louisiana. Millennium Films chairman A.V. Lerner stated that the project was brought to him by Krista Campbell and Lottie Grobman, and that Millennium has signed to has signed on to produce with Lionsgate distributing the finished product. Executive producer Mark Berg, who developed the sequel script with John Lucenhop. The rights are controlled by Mazzacone and Mainline Pictures, no matter what Millennium says. Maybe they are looking for something to sell at Berlin, but they have no right to announce this sequel. The idea for a prequel came when Hollywood screenwriter and producer Seth M. Sherwood was given the chance to pitch the film to the studio. Dissatisfied with the inconsistencies of the franchise's continuity, he opted to make a chainsaw film that wasn't just another sequel to the original. My pitch was always about doing it completely out of left field and making it different. Luckily, that's the direction they were interested in going as well. The script was approached as a story of identity based on the statements given by Tobe Hooper and Gunnar Hansen on how the character do. Sherwood chose not to have Leatherface be born as mentally disabled, finding the story of a functional person that has their mental capabilities reduced to be more fascinating. Producer Les Whedon stated that the key motives for accepting the pitch were to reinvent the franchise while also showing how Leatherface came to be. Despite the film's explanatory premise, co-director Julian Murray found it important to maintain some of the lead character's mystique, approaching it as moments from his young years rather than a breakdown of his entire past. And the pre-production happened on August 13th, 2014. It was announced that Sherwood would write the film under the title Leatherface. Were hired to direct the film, who admired how different it was from the previous installments. When we first received the script, it's not every day that you have the opportunity to see Leatherface on the front page, and we were very surprised in a good way that the script was taking a different path. Producer Whedon um, elucidated that the directors were chosen because of their vision and their edge of their storytelling. Upon signing onto the project, Maury and Bastillo requested rewrites in which Sherwood gave his support. The general plot structure remained the same, though the directors wanted the screenplay to match their vision. Nearly every death sequence was altered and the ending. Originally a mass murder involving Leatherface killing at in April 2015, Sam Strike, James Bloor, Stephen Dorff, and Jessica hold on, Jessica Madsen joined the cast. On May 5th, 2015, Lily Taylor was publicized to replace Angela Bettis, who dropped out due to scheduling conflict. The following day, Vanessa Grass joined the cast to play Lizzie. All right. All right. So the original Leatherface Chainsaw 3 took the idea of the backwoods isolation of the original and exploded it tenfold. I always think of the locations of this film, the scrub brush, filled badlands, and remote roadside outposts. Um, I filled my story with similar locations to hopefully capture a similar vibe. Principal photography began on May 18th, 2015, shooting on locations in Bulgaria. The Bulgaria location was used for budgetary reasons, as Millennium Films had a studio in the area. To accommodate the 1960s era in which the film is set, cars modeled after the time period were sent to the filming areas. Sites also chosen for an aesthetic of wild, open fields and scrubs that resemble the Texas landscape. Sherwood likened the film's visual addition to the brutal murders in the screenplay. Additional kills were inserted by directors Bastillo and Maury during filming, with the one resulting in Leatherface's flesh mask cited by Sherwood as his personal favorite. Practical effects were primarily, used to bring the killings, corpses, and gore to life. Much of the budget was spent on building a lifelike cow carcass intended to seem realistic. The crew utilized computer generated imagery as necessary, a bet to a much lesser extent. Two chainsaws were created for filming, a rubber chainsaw and an electric chainsaw. The rubber chainsaw was a variant used for the safety of the actors, with the Dr. Lang's bloodied corpse was also used in the scenes taking place after his death. Leatherface was made intentionally graphic in response to fan criticisms of Texas Chainsaw 3D lacking sufficient violence. Ooh, oh boy. Yeah, that's crazy. That's fucking crazy, man. Yeah, bloody. All right. Let me see where I left off here. Okay, Lottie Blobman said on the matter, gore is not always the point in horror movies, although there will be plenty. It needs to be psychologically challenging and twisted. While five of the seven Texas Chainsaw Massacre films have been shot in Texas, one in California and one in Louisiana, Bulgarian filming marks the first time one has been shot outside of the United States. Filming continued through June 2015, lasting a sum of 27 days. Sherwood wrote some of the film's locations into the script as homage and as was rebuilt to accurately resemble its appearance in the last Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The farm was originally going to be used sparring until Sherwood discussed the matter with directors Maury and Bastille, who felt that if if the iconic location was going to be built, it should be used to a larger extent. the third the third act, largely set at the farmhouse, was consequently rearranged from its placement in the script. The Sawyer homestead was adduced by cinematographer Antoine Sanier as being particularly rousing to shoot because it was a real location that he felt was fictional continuity, serving as a direct prequel to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Leatherface was written by Sherwood to also act. Excuse me. Leatherface was written by Sherwood to also act as a prelude to the series as a whole. He intentionally distanced the film from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake and its prequel, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning, while respecting the fictional events of the original film and its various sequels. Certain character names such as Drayton, um, Nubbins, and the Sawyer surname were pulled from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. The creation of the deranged lawman Hal Hartman, a vigilante character that first appeared in Texas Chainsaw 3D. The the character Vernon Sawyer, played by Lily Taylor, was played by Marlon Burns in Texas Chainsaw 3D. Sherwood, excuse me, confirmed that the Texas Chainsaw film canon made by Lionsgate Pictures and Millennium Films consists of chronologically Leatherface, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Texas Chainsaw 3D. He intended Leatherface to be accessible to viewers who had never seen the previous films, so they could watch the series in the order of the timeline without being confused. All right, let's go to the critical response on the review aggregator. Rating of 4.05 out of 10. Its consensus reads: Leatherface may wear the skin of a Texas Chainsaw Massacre prequel, but it proves gutless as an origin story and finds little invention in the horror tropes it's cannibalizing. On Metacritic, which assigns a normalized rating to reviews, the film has a weighted average score of 40 out of 100 based on 12 critics, indicating mixed or average reviews. Stephen Dalton of The Hollywood Reporter referred to the film as a respectful origin story from the long running Texas Chainsaw Massacre horror franchise, and also complimented the performances of Stephen Dorff and Lily Taylor. Benedict Steele of Variety called Leatherface a mixed bag, but also felt that in being driven more by story than gore. It was can truly live up to the original film. Bloody Disgusting gave it a 3.5 out of 5 score, saying that Bastille and Maury have made the best Texas Chainsaw Massacre film in quite some time. The site suggested that the film's evasion of slasher movie tropes may have resulted in not may have resulted in it not receiving a wide release, but still found it to be sufficiently entertaining. Rating the film 4 out of 5 stars, Jeannie Commode of I4Film found Leatherface to be less gory than previous installments, which she said may disappoint some Texas Chainsaw Massacre fans, but also felt that the story-driven horror made up for it. Dread Central's Stacy Wilson was put off by the graphic content and plot holes in Battelle of Sci-Fi Now praised that despite its excessive violence, it didn't come close to meeting the quality of horror of the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but added, "If nobody messes with our family," is the ultimate message. Maury and Bastille certainly maintain a respectful continuity to reunite the old clan for being what he called the most entertaining film since the original. Coming soon.net. Writer Jerry Smith gave the prequel a positive review. He assessed that do we really need yet another horror icon's origin story? And if so, would the explanation be anything we haven't seen before? The answers to these questions are quite refreshing. He went on to contrast the origin story given to that of Texas Chainsaw without it feeling forced. Vozzilla's Matthew Turner assigned a 6.2 rating, opining that Leatherface lacked the fear factor of the original, but was sustained by its gore, visual style, and acting. In a negative review, Flickering Myth critiqued that some stories just don't need telling, and Leatherface is one of them. He stated that while it wasn't a needless origin story or a retcon of what came before, the film felt empty and forgettable. Screen International opined that it was made more for profit than passion, but still thought it was above average in quality for a TC film, which is Texas Chainsaw Massacre film. Hey, you guys theorized that it alienated potential viewers by delivering something that fans didn't want as the worst Texas Chainsaw Massacre film for being too predictable and adding nothing to the series. It honestly looks as though the filmmakers who made Leatherface didn't watch the original films, but watched all the films that ripped off the Texas Chainsaw Massacre instead. Film critic Gossov, Gonsalves Rob Gonsalves reviewed that it was respectful to the previous films, but was consequently akin to a glorified fan film that couldn't deviate from what came before. Heather Wixon of Deadly Dead went into Leatherface wanting to love it, but thought the final product couldn't decide what type of movie it wanted to be. She questioned why it was Lily Taylor's acting as redeeming qualities. And of course, let me see. Prior to the release of Leatherface, the producers had the rights to make other, excuse me, six further Chainsaw Massacre films. In April 2015, producer Krista Campbell stated that the fate of the remaining films would largely depend on the financial reception and perceived fan reactions to the 2017 prequel. Campbell later clarified in December 2017 that Lionsgate and Millennium Films had lost the rights due to the time it took to release it. In August 2018, Legendary Pictures was in the running to buy the rights to the franchise, with an interest in film and television. and and Fede Alvarez serving as writer and producer, respectively. It is another sequel to the original film, picking up decades later without explicitly erasing other films in the series. It does not exist within the Leatherface timeline. The film was released on February 18th, 2022 on Netflix. All right. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Let's see. Okay, cool. Is there anything else? Yes, yes. Let me see. Let's talk some gaming stuff, man. I know there's some new stuff that's going on actually, so I want to actually get into it. And hold on a second. We'll talk about that in this segment right here. Hold on. The video game, the video games chamber. All right, let's do this. Hold on one second here. Here we go. All right. We got some gaming news to talk about here, and this is according to the folks from Video Games Chronicle. So this one in particular has to do with Fortnite being in trouble. Now, let's break this down. Let's break this shit down. All right, so this week VGC's Jordan Midler and Andy Robertson are joined by Chris Dring from the game business to chat about the week in reviews. Big stories this week include the epic layoffs, PlayStation shutting down another studio, and Nintendo cutting its production for our weekly show. You can get more podcasts and videos by joining VGCs on Patreon. You can find out more at patreon.com video games chronicle. The video games podcast episodes are available weekly, hosted by VGC's Jordan Midler, Chris Scullion, and Andy Robertson, and broadcaster Pete Donaldson, featuring regular special effects from across the games industry. You can subscribe to VGC, a video games podcast, now on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, and more. All right, so let's see what's going on here in other gaming news. Um, let's see. The United States Patent and Trade Office has revoked a patent it granted Nintendo last year based on a gameplay mechanic used in other games. Last September, Nintendo was granted a U.S. patent which covered the action of summoning another character and making them battle on the player's behalf. 2 months later, USPTO Director John A. Squires personally ordered a re-examination of the patent, the first time since 2012 that a USPTO director had personally done so without another company officially getting involved, citing previous patents which might have made it invalid. Now, as I now 26 claims made in the patent, meaning it has now um revoked. This is a non-final decision. Nintendo has excuse me, Nintendo now has 2 months to respond or longer if it asks for an extension. And and there can be an appeal made to the federal circuit if it doesn't agree with the decision. Nintendo's patent involved summoning other characters and making them fight for the player. The most obvious real the most obvious real world example being a Pokemon game where a player can summon Pokemon and use them to battle other Pokemon. When ordering the re-examination of with the opinion to make them fight either automatically or via manual control. In in order, Squires said he had determined that substantial new questions of patentability has no have a- arisen based on the publications of two previous patents named as Yabe and Tara. The Yabe patent was granted in 2002 to Konami and refers to a sub character fighting alongside the player either automatically or manually, while the Tara patent was granted in 2020 to Nintendo itself and also refers to a sub character who battles alongside the player. The US patent named Moto Kira, which was granted to Nintendo in 2022, and a patent called Shimo Shimomoto, which was granted in 2020 to Bandai Namco. According to the USPTO, if Nintendo's Tara patent is combined with either its Moto Q Motokua patent or Konami's Yabe patent, it makes 18 of the 26 claims in the new patent invalid by also combining Bandai Namco's Shimomoto patent. This provides the missing link. Games Fray reports that even if one claim is valid, Nintendo can still use it to sue patent infringers. And so the fact it can now appeal to the decision means it may attempt to salvage at least some of the claims. One potential argument it could make, according to the publication, is that because the USPTO's decision was not required to actually look at any real world cases of video games to come to its decision. Nintendo could claim that a developer wouldn't combine the ideas found in the other patents in real life. Following the news in September that Nintendo had been granted, concerns spread online that it could lead to a number of lawsuits in which Nintendo sues any of like Persona at risk. However, whereas trademark law says that a company could lose its trademark if it doesn't challenge any infringements. This isn't the case with patents. While Nintendo was attempting to patent this mechanic, and indeed, according to USPTO director's order, it seemingly already had a similar patent since 2020. It can choose not to pursue any other company that decides to use it, and only do so when it feels its own IP is being threatened, as was the case with Pal World. Yeah, let's see. Hold on. Hold on. Let's see. Let's see. Let's All right, let's get to some April's upcoming games. Let's take a look at this. Even though it's April Fools, um we got some games to cover actually. So after March topped up our game piles with the likes of Marathon, Pokopia, and Monster Hunter Stories 3. April will see Pokemon Champions Double Fines, um, Double Fines, Keelan, Diablo 4, Lord of Hatred, and more arrive on shelves. Viral social media hit, um, Tomodachi Life expansion, Terran Armada, which also makes its PlayStation 5 debut. Looking ahead to new game release dates: Forza Horizon 6, Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, 007 First Light, and Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight are set to be released in May. Now we go to the hold on a second. Okay. April 2026 big new video games. Okay, so all right, so Starfield and Free Lanes to run Armada DC. So, but Bethesda's sci-fi RPG Starfield is finally coming to PlayStation 5 this month, alongside two pieces of new content on all platforms. Tehran Armada will introduce new characters, locations, and players, according to Bethesda. Pokemon Champions is a free to start Switch game focused on battling, with a mobile version coming later this year. Players will be able to assemble and tweak a team of Pokemon and then battle others online. For more, read our hands-on report and interview with the game's director. Beyond Words is a roguelike word game by a new studio formed by the creators of GoldenEye and Time Splitters, after the sad news in 2023 that their Time Splitters revival had been canceled. According to its description, Beyond Words is a genre defining fusion of roguelike strategy and word crafting. Hades Starfield, April 7th. Pokemon, Wednesday, April 8th. Beyond Words, Thursday, April 9th. Hades, Tuesday, April 14th. For Xbox and PS5. Okay, Hades 2 is finally coming to other console platforms, having previously been a Nintendo Switch exclusive. Announced in December 2022, Hades 2 is a direct sequel to its predecessor, which won multiple game of the week. Excuse me, which won multiple game of the year awards. Mouse PI for Hire, Thursday, April 16th. For Yeah, so Mouse PI for Hire is a striking looking first person shooter with character designs loosely based on early Mickey Mouse cartoons. The 2.5 Nintendo Switch 2, Xbox, and PC. Tomodachi Life. Tomodachi Life Living the Dream. Um Thursday, April 16th. Is a slim excuse me, is a Tomodachi Life Living the Dream is a life sim where players create me characters, make them befriend each other, and try to improve the overall happiness of the island they live on. Despite Nintendo restricting on console media sharing with the title, social media quickly filled with Tomodachi Life videos last month following the release of a free demo. Comes out April 16th. That's a Thursday on Nintendo Switch. Pragmata, a rare original IP from the makers of Resident Evil. As players must multitask shooting robot enemies and simultaneously hacking their defenses with a puzzle minigame. Masters of Albion. Um, Masters of Albion is the next God game from acclaimed designer Peter Molyneux from a development team comprised of veterans from projects such as Black and White and Dungeon Keeper. Previously, Molyneux has said he sees Masters of Albion as a chance at redemption after overpromising on ambitious projects like the online mobile titles Curiosity, What's in the Cube. Comes out Wednesday, April 22nd for PC and Keelan Pottery Party Brawler. Part excuse me, Players take control of a small spirit who can't battle unprotected and so decides to create some armor. Players sculpt this armor out of clay using a pottery wheel, meaning they have full control over its appearance and properties. Sorrows. Housemark Housemark Q's follow-up to the acclaimed shooter Returnal is again a third-person shooter that melds bullet hell games with modern roguelites. However, this time players will be given far more options to upgrade their suit and their weaponry. Offers a sense of permanent progression. Okay, so this comes out Thursday, April 30th. There's anything else to talk about? Hold on. Anything else? Let me see. Wait, what is this? What is this? Hmm. Let me see. Let me see this story. Okay, Fanta and Xbox are teaming up for a special campaign, including a new Fanta Crimson flavor. Oh boy. Fanta has teamed up with Xbox for a special limited time drinks collaboration. The campaign, which is called Wanta Fanta, Come Get It, is designed to celebrate the 25th anniversary of Xbox. Will see characters from popular Xbox titles. The the Palladian from Diablo 4 on the can. The collection starts on April 8th, with Fanta saying the cans will also give players the chance to game with featured iconic characters and compete in never before played Fanta rewards, chess challenges to end prizes, merchandise, and exciting experiences. The cans will be available in more than 60 markets across North America, Latin America, Europe, Asia, South Pacific, and Africa. And the new collection and rewards program will start in April. The confirmed can designs are as follows. Let's take a look here. The partnership with Fanta brings together two brands that thrive on creativity and self expression. Microsoft's general manager of Xbox, the joy of play on screen and beyond. Coca Cola's vice president of its global sparkling flavors category, Ibrahim, Ibrahim Salim Khan added, Fanta believes in delivering the Wanta Fanta get come get it challenge that fans are most passionate about, and this partnership with Xbox takes it to a whole new realm of delicious gameplay. We're just getting started. End quote. We imagine a world where the irresistible taste of Fanta is so delicious it pulls players into a multiverse size venture. We're excited to unleash this partnership with Xbox, the characters, and facing larger than life challenges to prove just how far they'll go to get their Fanta back. Okay, is anything else? Let me see. Let's take a look here if there's anything else. Let me see. Um, let me see. No. Let's see. Okay. Hold on a second. Okay. A new game, a new game which turns players' actual Steam library into physical game boxes in coming to PC. Box Room is a home decorator sim where players can design the look of their own bedroom or games room. Damn, why does that remind me of the game Sims? It looks similar to Sims though. Yeah, it does. Players use a catalog to choose their walls, flooring, and furniture, then lay them out however they see it fit. However they see fit, excuse me. They can also buy bookshelves and other shelving cabinets, which can be used to store their game collection. The twist is that this game collection to the game. Box Room takes the metadata found in each game's Steam page and uses this to generate physical game boxes based on each title, with the game's main image serving as its cover art, and its screenshots found inside each box as postcards. Certain games will also unlock secret figures, um, collector's editions, and upgrades, with developer Nested Loop Studios asking how many are hiding in your collection. A player has finished browsing their physical library, they will be able to boot a game directly from Box Room. They can also share their rooms with friends to show off their collection. Let's see. Do you in the mood to play? The game's description reads, in quote, "Do you long for instruction manuals, inlays, and intoxicating um plas- plasticky smell when you crack open a new box and bury your nose inside?" Box Room is a shrine to all of that. A little space to call your own, and a way to explore and interact with your game library in a more meaningful way. It's a throwback to the bedrooms and game spaces of yesteryear, a place for shelves, cabinets, and curated displays for posters, figurines, and collector's items. It's also a game if you want to call it it's also a game if you want to call it that. A design decorator sim giving you engagement. The game will boot your actual Steam library onto the shelves, giving you space to arrange, curate, and explore your collection as you see fit. A demo for Box Room is available on Steam now, with the game arriving in early access in Q 2026. What is that? Q Q2 2026. Also, if you want to know more about Box Room, um you can subscribe to the you can subscribe to the Pantaloons YouTube channel, so you can check out some videos about it. That's Pantaloon on YouTube. Check it out. Q2 2026. What is that? Q2 2026. Let's see. Let me see. Q 2026. Let me see. There's some dates. Let me see. Hmm? Yeah, Q2 runs from April 1st to June 30th. Okay, let's take a look here. Let's take a look here. Yeah, so there you go. Right there you go. Let me see. Let me see this. I know they got some dates, but um they got some dates. Let me see. .com. Okay, so yes, obviously second quarter 2026. It's from April 1st to June 30th, 2026 in the world. The second quarter of 2026 starts on April 1st, which is today, and ends 3 months later on June 30th. A quarter means a fourth and refers to three sequence months. The second quarter of a year always includes April, May, and June. It also sometimes depicted with Roman numerals or abbreviated like Q2 or Q2 2026. What is this? Yeah, Q20, yeah, Q 2026. Yeah. Second quarter of the year, second quarter of the year on the northern hemisphere is shaped by spring and the beginning of the summer. Part. Yeah. Second quarter of the year on the northern hemisphere is shaped by spring and the beginning of summer. On the southern hemisphere, again, autumn time and winter starts. The variable date of Easter can be a part of the second quarter when the date in April instead of in March. Second quarter in springtime is strongly connected with falling in love and other positive feelings because of the northern hemisphere of the dark time of the year ends now. Okay, what the hell? All right, what does that have to do with video games? That's the thing. What does that have to do with video games? That's what I'm trying to figure out, though. Anyway, man, let me see. Let me see what's going on here. Let me see. What does that have to do? Let me see this. This is crazy. Um, let's see. Let me see. Let me see. This is interesting. The second quarter of 2026 will feature several notable video game releases. Let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this. And this was posted, yeah, today actually. So there's a stacked lineup of new games for 2026. April is a massive month with some major titles heading our way, such as the spiritual successor to Returnal and some major Nintendo exclusive with Tamagotchi Life Living the Dream just a few days away. However, even with a wave of games releasing, there's still more announcements constantly filling up the calendar as well. A new Xbox showcase is locked in for next month, and thanks to the likes of the Nintendo Indie World Stream, which brought us more upcoming indie games goodness, and the recent show future game shows spring showcase. There's already a ton to keep track of. It's a busy year for sure. So to help you stay on top of all that's ahead, you can find our helpful overview of all the new games for easy browsing. So let's see. Let's take a look here. Let's take a look here. Yeah, I already talked. Yeah, so you have Darwin's Paradox, which is which is going to be dropping tomorrow for PC, Xbox Series, um, PlayStation 2, and Nintendo Switch 2. Also coming out tomorrow is Clean Up Earth for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series. People of note, PC, Xbox Series, PS5, and Nintendo Switch 2 comes out April 7th. Yeah, for PC, Xbox Series, PS5, and Nintendo Switch 2. Starfield comes out the same day for PS5 and Nintendo Switch. and Nintendo Switch. So yes, April 16th, mark your calendars. Pokemon Champions. April 8th, Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2. Samson, April 8th for PC, followed by the Occultist on PC, PS5, Xbox Series. April 10th, the Tiny Bookshop for PS5. April 14th, replaced PC, Xbox Series, followed by Last Flag for PC. April 16th, the C. Hold on a second. The C Who, the Cosmic Abyss for PC, PS5, Xbox Series. Mouse PI actually life living the dream for Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2. April 21st, Vampire Crawlers, the Turbo Wildcard for Vampire Survivors for PS5, Xbox Series, and Nintendo Switch. Masters of Albion comes out in April 22nd for PC. Um, for PC, yeah. Hold on one second here. Let's get rid of this here. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. Can we get rid of this? Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Yes. So Tides of Tomorrow comes out April 22nd for Keelan. Um, also comes out the same day for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series. Hold on one second here. Yeah. Pragmata comes out April 24th for PC, Xbox Series, PS5, Nintendo Switch 2. Um, Moomin Troll Winter's Warmth comes out April 27th for PC, Nintendo Switch, and Nintendo Switch 2. Aphelion comes out April 28th for PC, Xbox Series, and PS5. Diablo 4 Lord of Hatred comes out April 28th for PC, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series, and PS5, Xbox Series, and Nintendo Switch. Also, also, Will Follow the Light comes out the same day for PC, PS5, Xbox Series. That's April 28th as well, followed by Wise Memoir Revelations in Select. Uh, hold on. Revelations in Celcita for Nintendo Switch. Moto GP 26 comes out April 29th for PC, PS5, Xbox Series, Nintendo Switch 2. Amnesia Rebirth comes out April 30th for Nintendo Switch 2, followed by Adorable Adventures, PC, PS5, Xbox Series, Busbound, same day, PC, Xbox Series, and PS. Okay. Okay. Now that we got that established, um, I think it's time to actually. I think it's time to wrap up here. Actually, hold on one second here. Let me look for. Let me look for that one particular. Let me look for that one particular thing. Hold on. Where is it? Yeah, I got it. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Let's see, let's see. Yes, there we go. Okay. All right. Now we can go to our very last segment of the night, which is hold on. Yes, stream choices on the go. Let's do this. Okay, here's the deal, folks. For those of you that's listening, make sure you follow the Entertainment Review Show Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast on Facebook alongside with Blue Sky Social alongside with Threads and Instagram. The same excellent, fun, vibrant talks podcast. And my comedy off the meat rat Chainz New York Avenue podcast is also on the same social media platforms as well. And of course, you can also follow your host with the most G Money Stacks 555 in Queens, New York on Threads and Instagram as well. So, and I will gladly go over where you can listen to the audio podcast stream platforms and along with visual on in the podcast feed link of Linktree / Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast 5. If you click on there, you're going to see a whole list of streaming platforms that you can listen to choose from in in those options. And these options includes Odyssey, Audible, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts. Don't forget to leave. Yes, don't forget to don't forget to leave a positive review on Apple Podcasts. On Apple Podcasts, make sure you actually leave a 5-star rating and alongside with 5 stars. Okay, so I'm sorry if you're seeing glitches, so I just want to make sure I include um Audible, Odyssey, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts. I just mentioned that. Make sure you leave a 5-star rating on the platform and tell me how you feel about the topics in each episode. And it really helps me out with myself as the host with the most on multiple streaming platforms. All right. So we're on we're on Castbox, um, Pocket Cast, Podo Polo, Podorama, Podcast Index, Podcast Addict, Pod Chaser, um, Podverse. You got Podcast Guru, Podcatcher, Podcast Republic. You got Snipped alongside with Spotify. Make sure you add the podcast to your Spotify playlist and press the notification bell so you'll be able to know when each episode is going to be uploaded to the Spotify and along with other streaming platforms as well. And of course, you can listen to the episodes on Spotify for creators and TuneIn Radio, Fountain, Good Pods, iHeartRadio, the number one app where you can listen to your favorite music artists. Yes, pop stars alongside with hip hop artists, your favorite AM and radio stations, and of course you can listen to the episodes on iHeartRadio for free. You don't need a credit card or debit card to download iHeartRadio. All you need to do is download iHeartRadio onto your phones, which includes iPhones, Android phones, iPads, Android tablets, and not to mention laptops are included, which includes Apple, Mac laptops, and Dell laptop models. All right. And make sure you click on the make sure you hit make sure you click on the subscribe button on the leave a like and a comment alongside with the topics in each episode. All right. And you can also share this with your husbands, your wives, your boyfriends, girlfriends, people you're cool with from work. Word of mouth is important. So spread the word and also share the Linktree link that says Linktree slash Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast 5 for the podcast fee link choices. And of course, you can also enable a notification alert so you be able to get notified on when each video podcast episode is going to be uploaded to the YouTube channel page. And if you haven't got the chance to catch up on the episodes, please do that. If you missed any episodes, please catch up. You can also and of course you can also um be sure to also, you know, not only enable alerts, but you can also tune in to more video podcast episode live stream recordings. And of course, new episodes will be dropping Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. All right, on every streaming platform. All right. So that's gonna do it for me, man. I'm your man G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator, rhymes with now or later. And I like to say thank you, and I appreciate every single one of you, including the subscribers on this channel and other channels as well. Um, you could have listened to any of. Remember, the grind doesn't stop. Hard work pays off. If you want something, you have to earn it. It's not going to be given to you on a fucking silver platter. If you plan on starting the podcast, be sure to be on your P's and Q's. Be on your P's and Q's and be yourself behind the microphone if you're planning on recording your podcast topics creatively, mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually that get you into your zone alongside with tunnel vision. All right. And and one more thing I want to actually say. Um, there is no perfect time or a good time to start a podcast. If you plan on doing it, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. Don't overthink, because you don't want the numbers and the subscribers, if they're not increasing. Just keep pumping out more content whatsoever, and I guarantee you'll have a successful podcast. All right. So yeah, there you have it right there. I'm about to crash out, sign off. Stay tuned for more new. Stay tuned for more new topics in the next episode. I love every single one of y'all. Peace and one love. In the words of Ken Stars, have a good night, everybody.